Hey everyone! Hey, thanks for joining in again on with the Crippled Handyman. And I just want to thank my new subscribers and thanks um, for all the new followers. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and as you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's no cost to anybody. It's free. But help me get to that goal. I'd appreciate that. Um, yeah, today is another day. I filled up. I filled up gas today. How much did you? How much is gas up by your area? Gas is going up again where I'm at, and today's March 19th. I paid because of the fact of going to Safeway. We end up getting 20 cents off. We would have paid $2.93 a gallon, and I end up paying $2.73. Filled up my truck, put 12 gallons in there, and that cost me $33. That's not bad. I like my truck, and I do like those lower. Keep them under 3. Let's get them under 2. For everybody, it'll help everyone out. Can you imagine if it was back under $2 again? Even $1.49. Let's get there again. But hey, what I want to talk about today is 7 things you want to look for before you buy a home. Okay, you've already done all the ropes. You got your credit score checked. You got pre-approved, and you're ready to buy a home. And now what's next? The fun part, the exciting part, and the scary part. If you don't know what to look for, this is where it gets, it could be a little stressful. You could check out stuff online and, they have tips. Me, as a construction worker, as I used to spec build homes, I was a home builder. Like I said, my main career was a sheet metal worker, HVAC. And I also built homes. I built all my homes. So it's a little interesting. I've been on both sides. From building my home, you build your dream home, you put in exactly everything's brand new, and that's a great, wonderful feeling. If you're able to do that and you have the knowledge and the background, the ability from friends or family or construction buddies to help you get that project built for you, get that wonderful home, the dream home, they all want to say, take advantage of that route. But if you're looking for an existing home and you do not have any background knowledge of what to look for, I'm going to give you 7 things, the main 7 things to look for when you're doing a walkthrough in a property. I helped different family members. I would go with them looking at the homes. I remember for my one aunt and uncle, we looked at 20 homes. Out of the 20, 2 homes I gave a thumbs up on. The other homes were completely thumbs down. Definitely not worth buying. Well, basically, they're money pits, or you would have to put a lot of money in them. If you have money in the bank, say you're ready to, you're on the market looking for a $400,000 home. I'm just giving an example. If your first home, if you're in a $200,000 range, it doesn't matter what range you're in, you still want to look for these 7 things to save your wallet. Unless you're prepared to spend some money, extra money out of pocket, but these 7 things is what you're going to want to look for. So you pull up to the home that you're potentially wanting to buy, and you're on the outside looking, and everything looks wonderful. You get inside the home, and all I care about, the most important and one of the higher end cost factors on homes, where most homeowners typically are not able to do themselves, would be, look at the water heater. Look to see how old is the water heater. I know when we bought this house, I did the walkthrough. I inspected the home myself. I was my own inspector, just because of I'm very grateful and thankful for the knowledge I have. Many of my friends and family, they actually told me that I should be a home inspector, but I just never went down that road. Especially with my back situation, to crawl in a crawl space or crawling in the attic, getting on somebody's roof. Um, so say the water heater. The water heater was only a year old when we bought the house. It was just replaced, so I didn't have any fear of that. So you want to see how old your water heater is. They give a life expectancy. It depends. They could last 5 years. They could last 10 years. See how old your water heater is. And fortunately, water heaters are not super expensive. But if you are just trying to get in your first home, and if you are capable of doing it yourself, you could buy a water heater. My previous home, the water heater was old. I just replaced it. And I know, I went to, I think, at Lowe's and bought a water heater. I think I paid like $500 for it. And just replaced it, put new fluid piping on, replaced the gas whip. Up here in Colorado, you could actually have a whip going to your water heater. Now, where I came from, like in the Illinois region, the gas piping has to be solid pipe to the water heater. It cannot be on a whip whatsoever. So it's just weird how they do things out here in Colorado. But if you're going to have to pay somebody, you expect to pay anywhere from $900 to $3,000. On the average, $1,400. Second thing you want to look at the furnace. And obviously the furnace and air conditioner, they go hand in hand. You want to look at the ages of those. Those units, they can last past 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Depending on the type of furnace, the brand, some brands last longer. I replace old units that are 28, 30 years old, and they're still functioning just fine. They're just not efficient, but I didn't have the money, to replace those, so I didn't bother doing them. And the last house, we had an old furnace, and thank God the deal was the seller, because the home inspector found a crack in one furnace, and so the deal was he was going to give me credit towards that replacement, and I ended up doing that for that particular thing. But so if you have to, look at the age of the unit, if it's 5 to 10 years old, you should still be fine. You could have 5 years, you maybe have 1 year, but I would feel safe to say that 10 years you're still okay. But the average cost to replace a furnace by itself is $4,700. And an air conditioner could be within ballpark the same, anywhere from average could be $3,500, $4,000. And this all depends on the size of the unit. If you have just a smaller home, it's an 80,000 BTU versus if you have a larger home, you have 120,000 BTU. Well, the cost reflects of the cost of equipment. So, number 2, you want to make sure your furnace and air conditioner are not too old and are in good running condition. The third thing is check out your electric panel. Make sure that electric panel, if you're like looking at an older home from the 60s or 70s, say 60s, they may have the fuse box. It's actually a little round fuse. You screw in and then you screw out. You definitely want to you don't want to keep that panel. You want to update that for that panel. And electric panels are not that costly. Average is around $1,300. They say the low range can be $550, anywhere all the way up to $3,000. But the average is around $1,300, depending on where you're at in the country. And that would be basically the 3 on your MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So the next thing is when you're walking through this home that you want to buy, what does the kitchen look like? Has the kitchen been updated? If you're looking to redo the kitchen in the future, or if the kitchen is perfect, then great. But you could expect to pay anywhere from $14,000 all the way up to over $40,000 to replace a kitchen. The average is around 26,000 to replace a nice kitchen. But like I said, that's the range, 14 to 40,000. So I know it's a vast range because you may have a smaller kitchen, you may have a simple L-shaped kitchen, you may have an island. It all varies on the kind of home you buy. If you're happy with the kitchen, like, oh, I don't like the cabinets, well, maybe you could just reface them, put new cabinet doors on. There's a lot of things you could do. The next thing to look for is how old are the bathrooms? Have the bathrooms been updated? Are there old fixtures? Are they just outdated? In this house, we still have 2 outdated bathrooms. 2 bathrooms are okay. Well, the one that I did, everything's brand new, beautiful bathroom, 5-piece ensuite, and you could spend anywhere from $2,500 to $30,000. And the average is $5,000 to $15,000, depending if it's just a small powder room or is it a 3-piece. Does it have a shower? Does it have a tub? Depending on how big the bathroom is. So that would be another thing, is a bathroom update. The next thing would be your sewer line. Guaranteed, no matter what, if everything in the house looks great, and obviously it comes down to, you get it inspected. To get a sewer line scope, it costs anywhere from $125 anywhere up to $500. And you just want to make sure the sewer line is in excellent condition. If there's roots in there, the sewer line can still be in great condition, and these roots figure out how to get in there. On that time, it's like, well, you have to maybe get the sewer guy to come out and, oh my God, I hate when my brain freezes on that, where you have to get the sewer cleaned, and they got the little cleaner deal, and it's got little jaws, and it just spins, and you could clean out those roots. We had roots in ours. Our sewer line is super long. Our sewer line is about 190 feet long. From the house all the way to the main, it's 190 foot long. Because when we had a backup, I didn't get the sewer checked. I'm like, okay, well, the whole time I was renovating the house, I was here for 6 months by myself, and I'm taking showers, I'm using the toilets, I'm using the sink, and never had any issues. And one time we had probably about 8-9 people. My wife she was in her soaker tub, a 60-gallon soaker tub. The dishwasher was running. Someone else was taking a shower, and I think there was like another shower was being used. Like I said, we have 4 bathrooms in this house, and sewer was coming up through the sewer drain down here, and I was like, oh shit, literally no pun intended. And right outside the house, there's a root in the one thing, and the guy goes out. He's about 92 feet. He's like, oh, it's clogged up here. Should I keep going? I'm like, yeah. So he had to put on his extra 100-foot reel, because the one reel goes 100 feet. So he had to put on another 100-foot reel. And he said that reel was almost at the end, and he went out like 192 feet. But I know we're going to get it cleaned again, rotor-rooted again this spring, just to avoid that, because if there was another route down line, the first plug, I had no outside cleanouts at the time. Now I do. I had a company come in and add 2 cleanouts to go both directions. So that's all taken care of. So get your sewer line checked. And the 7th thing is, are there cracks in the drywall? If you can see a foundation, if there's a basement, are there cracks? Are there, if it's a brick home, is a brick joint starting to crack in weird places? It all comes down to, is it just a settling type crack? What kind of crack is it? There's different types of cracks. So it may be just a simple old settling type crack, but if it's significant, I would run. If it's a major concrete foundation, if it's like some major repair, you could get anywhere up to like $20,000 to $30,000 to repair a foundation. It may get higher than that, depending on how severe it is. But if it's just a little simple crack going down the foundation, it looks like it's say it's been there, looks like it's an old crack's been there for say 20 years if it's an older home. Those are more easier cracks. They could run $400 to $800 to repair. So the 7 things you want to focus on. Well, I guess I could add 8. I will add. I know in the beginning of the video I mentioned 7, but I'm gonna call it 8. I'm gonna add one more that I should have added, like updating bathrooms, updating kitchens. I mean, it's not the end of the world. If you're somewhat handy and you're able to do it yourself, you could save a few bucks and you could do it. You could wait a year, you could wait 2 years, 3 years before you even tackle that project. And at that time, you'll be able to save the money, to do that project. But one big one that could be very, very costly, and depending on where you live, is the roof. How does the roof look? Are the roof shingles? Is there hail damage? You're in luck if there's hail damage. You could run that through your homeowner's insurance, and possibly the seller could work something out before they sell the house. Call the insurance company, and obviously they don't want it on their end, and then it's like, well, why should you take it on your end? Maybe you could come up with a deal. This is where negotiating comes in. If you really like the house, you like the neighborhood, and you have to possibly spend $15,000 in some of these repairs, and especially say a roof. And if the roof is bad, you could definitely negotiate the home price from the seller. I don't care where you're at. The market has changed. Is becoming more of a buyer's market again. Maybe not all areas, but majority of the country, I feel, is a buyer's market. So these are I'm going to go through the 8 things. Check the water heater, check the furnace and air conditioner, check the electrical panel, check the kitchen. And when I say the kitchen, how old are the appliances? Are they old appliances, new appliances? Newer. A lot of people update their appliances and you don't have to even worry about it. They could be 3-4 years old. And, chances are you'll be okay on that end. But if you have an appliance that's 15, 16 years old, expect to, pay out some money. And that's easy to figure that out. It's like, I want this type of fridge, or I want this type of stove, dishwasher, microwave, whatever it is. You can figure that math out. Just look at Lowe's, Home Depot, or any other type of an appliance outfit and see how much that unit would cost, and figure that. Typically, you can't really negotiate too much with appliances. Even like kitchen updates, bathroom updates, those are really harder, for negotiating. But if you got like old crickety windows, I didn't add that on the list, but possibly you could add that. But the main ones like the water heater, the furnace, and air conditioner, the electrical panel, like I said, the kitchen, the bathroom, the sewer, hands down. If you have a bad broken line in that, you can negotiate definitely with that. That's why, expect with a home inspection, pay for that camera scope. Get it scoped. Don't even like, oh, it'll be okay. Don't do that. Luckily, when I looked at my whole sewer, the sewer's in excellent shape for being 47 years old. The sewer is great. It's 4-inch clay pipe. There's no cracks in it. It's in excellent condition. And then check out, obviously the foundation. How is the foundation? The foundation on this house, a lot of it is exposed. It's a raised ranch. So the front of the house is all brick. There's no cracks there. The south side and the north side, I could start seeing it up a little bit. And then the back of the house, everything did look fine. There's a little, there's like maybe a slight minor hairline crack. Nothing, even because it's in the garage. There's no water leaks or anything like that. That's common for little minor hairline cracks. But there was nothing to deter me. It was nothing structural, nothing that would deter me from buying the property. So these are 8 things to look for when you are getting, if there's a house that you really love. Or these things could be like, what, we're already this is our first house. We really cannot afford any expensive repairs. Well, that may not be the property for you, and skip on to the next. Don't put yourself in a money pit when you buy a home. When we bought this home, it had freaking paneling on all the walls. This whole first floor, it was just a big open room. It had paneling all over. I took all the paneling down. I had these old ceiling 12 by 12, ceiling tiles that were glued onto drywall. That was a bummer, but we wanted to redo the room. It had a bedroom, a kitchen, so forth like that. So we were prepared to spend some money in this property, and we had the finances to do so. The repairs went more. They cost us more, and I'm the contractor. I'm the guy. I'm the plumber. I'm the HVAC. I'm the electrician. I'm the carpenter. I'm the trim carpenter. I'm the drywaller. I'm the woodworker. I did the I'm everything. I did it all. What this house had was a good set of bones. The electrical panel was updated about 10 years ago to a 200 amp panel. The one main thing before I bought the house, I took the cover off the panel to make sure it didn't have aluminum wiring. And that's another thing you want to look for. That's why you hire a home inspector to walk through the house, and you still have time to kind of like back out of the deal or negotiate. Always get a home inspector. If you do not know what you're doing or what you're looking at, I highly recommend hiring a home inspector. Like I said, I was in the contracting world for 30 years. I know what to look for. I know what's expected. I know how long things should last. And the roof was new. The roof was only like 8 years old when I bought the house. 8 or 10. Maybe it was 10 when I bought it. And most shingles are 25 year. So for me, I'm like, oh, I got 15 years to save that money. And the wife in the future wants to do a metal roof. So, that's fine. We could, when that time comes, that time comes. But those are your 8 things you want to check out. And I know, like I said in the beginning of the video, I mentioned 7, but I just remembered you want to add the 8th one. If you're out there looking at a house, you have any questions, hey, reach out. And also, if you like this video, if you want to see similar videos to something like this, let me know, and I could do a video of maybe one of my subscribers' requests. If it has to do with anything with jobs, the construction industry, or how-tos. If you have a question how to do something, maybe I'll put a video together on how to solder, or how wiring is done. What's the difference with a 15 amp, 20 amp, how do you gauge wiring and the kind of outlets, all that, anything, ceiling fan installation. I would hate to take a ceiling fan down and reinstall it, but stuff like that. But hey, thanks for watching the video. If you watch this to the end, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, and we'll talk about something new next time. All right.